inches up. That right there is the center of my circle. So I'm going to punch the center of this circle. Now, if I'm going to draw a circle with my compass, I need to be 3 inches. See, there's 3 inches. It's a bit bigger than 3 inches. Okay, so now I'm going to draw a 6-inch circle in there. Okay, so now I can see that I got a 3-inch offset from here and an 1.5 inch offset from there. Okay, so the next thing that I need to do, excuse me, the next thing I need to do is I need to divide this circle up into 12 segments. Right now it's in quarters. Well, it just so happens to be that half of your circle from quarter to quarter and from quarter to quarter and from quarter to quarter and from quarter to quarter. Now look, all of my segments of that circle should be pretty close to the same thing, but because I'm using a marker here, it kind of makes it just a little bit off. See that? How we're right close to being the same thing? It's just my marker width has caused me to be just a little bit off, like 1/8 of an inch off, which I'm okay with 1/8 of an inch, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label my square, my rectangle, and I'm going to label it in quarters. So this is going to be A, this is going to be B, this is going to be C, this is going to be D, this is going to be E, this is going to be F, this is going to be G, and this is going to be H. And then I'm going to label my circle. Okay? So I'm just going to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now if you get more than 12, you've done something wrong. Okay? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my true line bar. And I like to just draw that true line bar right in here. And what height is this one here? Is that 10 inches? It doesn't matter, but we can make that height of this true line bar 10 inches, which would be the height of this. We could make it 8 inches, we could make it 12 inches, we could make it 24 inches if we wanted. I like to go at least the longest width of my transition. So if I've got a 10-inch width and that's the longest width of my transition, I'm going to do a 10-inch width. Unless it's specified, right? If it's specified 12 inches or something, then draw a 12-inch width.
Now, we've got a 10-inch wide by 8-inch. Let's say the distance between the round and the square is, can you go as small as like 4 inches or so? Or
For the length?
For the length, yeah.
I mean, you could go 4 inches, but that's gonna be really restrictive. It's better to go at least your longest width if you have the room to do it. If you don't have the room to do it, then don't. Now, here's my 10 inches right here. I'm going to punch again these out. So I'm going to punch this corner here, so I always get the correct distance. I'm going to punch my 10 inches, so I'm always measuring that distance. Okay? Then I'm going to start 1/2 at a time. Okay? I'm going to start with one section at a time of this. Now, this is going to be divided in half. So if I draw it out, this is what it's going to look like from the top view if I'm looking down at this. So I'm going to draw in my connection line so I don't, as a reference mainly. You don't necessarily have to draw in your connection lines as a reference, but you can. So these lengths right here are going to be the lengths that you're plotting out. So I'm just going to draw 1/4 of this in. So H to 1. And then from B to 4. And then from C to 4. Okay, so one thing that's interesting with this true length bar is if this was not offset right here, from here to here, that distance right there would be exactly 10 inches. Okay? But the true length bar is giving you the distances of these from here to here. So the distance from A to 1, I'm just going to show you. So the distance from A to 1, and I really should have punched these here too. Just so that I get the same mark, the same measurement. Okay, so the distance from A to 1, looking down on it, is about that right there. So I'm just going to mark that on my true length bar, and I'm going to label that A1. Now look, so the distance from A to 1 right there is this angle right here, but the straight line distance is right there. See that? That's the straight line distance from A to 1. Okay? And then, of course, I need C to 4 because that's the very first triangle that I'm starting with. C to 4 right there. You gotta start with your middle triangle when you're laying this out. And if you don't start with your middle triangle, you're gonna have some serious issues building this. So this is C4 here. So here, scoot over just a little bit. So if I go to plot this out now, I can plot it out. What time is it? 10:02. Okay, we got a few minutes. I'm just gonna plot out this first length right here, which is 10 inches. Okay. So I'm going to draw, this is my S-cleat right here. I'm going to draw 10 inches right there. And I'm going to punch those 10 inches. And I'm going to label them. So here we go. Punch. So I'm going to label that right there A. I'm not going to worry about B right now. And I'm going to plot this one here out at C. So A and C. So I know I've got to start with my first triangle right here, which is from C to 4 to A to 4. Did I do, oh, I did A1, didn't I? I need A4. So look, my very first triangle is going to be A4 to C4 on this half of my
What would you
rectangle.
What would you call that? This bar. Is this just your plot line?
That's my S cleat right here.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Okay, that's my S cleat. So to get that measurement, I'm going to go A to 4, plot it out, and C to 4, plot it out, and then on my true length bar, because this is 10 inches right here, it's going to give me that exact distance. Is everybody kind of seeing how this works? So this is A4 right here. So my A4 distance, check it out. This is what the cool part is. My A4 distance is that. So a lot longer than 10 inches. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to draw an arc. And then my C4 distance is going to intersect that arc. C4 intersecting. So this is A4 and C4 intersection. So there, now look, this spot right here is 4. 4, A, C, C, 4, 4. Okay, is everybody with me? Pretty simple. Okay, so the next one that I'm going to mark is my A3. So A3. Do this one step at a time and you won't get confused. If you try to do the whole thing at once, oh hell. You know, I might be able to do it after doing this, you know, I think this is my 4th squared around now. I might be able to do it after 4. So that is A3. A3. So A3 is going to be this distance right here. And it's coming to the left, right? So A. And then the next triangle is going to be your width right here, which I've already pre-done. See? All these are about the same. See that? So here we go. From 4 to 3. So there's 3. And then my next one is going to be A to 2. A. Oh, what am I doing? Start here. A to 2. Put it on my true length bar. A2. You're going to get a lot of numbers up here. So you can just go A2. Extend that down. A2. Okay. So now I'm going to get my true distance of A2, which is from here to there. Make sure that it's as perfect as possible. A. There's my arc for A2. And I know that I've already got that distance on this compass. So I'm going to go A2. Put a little dot on there. This is going to be 2. Then I need 1. So I've already plotted A1. That was my very first plot. So I can just grab that distance right here. A1. A1. Mark it. 1. 1. Okay, so now I've got to get this angle, right? Well, that's just a triangle between A1 and H, so between A and H. So I've got to get my A and H first. So A and H, right there,
Just slide that board over a little.
which is right there, A and H. So there we go. Draw me an arc. And then I need to plot my H to 1. So H to 1, put it on my true length bar. H to 1. And I'm going to call that H1. H1. So to get this final distance on that quarter of this square around, H to 1. Right there. 1 H. So right here, that dot right there is H. Okay? So all I gotta do is connect the dots right now, and I will have 1/4 of this square round built. And all it does is repeat itself. These steps just repeat themselves all the way through. So now I'm going to connect all my A's. A1, A2, A3, A4.
And how much do we add to the end for
So
the connection?
on this one here, what I would do is I'd add 1 1/8 inches to both sides. And on my opposite side, I'd add 3/8 of an inch. So I can use a snap lock seam on that. So 1 3/8 inches here, 1 3/8 inches here. Draw that across. Okay. Then all you're doing is connecting these dots right here, using your artistic skills. Okay, so this is 1/4 of it. The other quarter, I just start plotting